You need a great opener, like somehow we're adults. Do.
We can record that right
some
now.
Some kind of like.
We can record that right now.
Everybody, be quiet.
Somehow we're adults.
All right.
Falling apart, bro. You feel the pressure of this moment? Because I want you to feel the pressure of this moment.
I'm not leading this. This is your podcast.
This is your book, though, bro.
It is.
So, okay. So, all right. So we this is another episode of the book club where we basically every month we try and read a book, forces each other to try and like basically be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm reading and we have a date and when the next podcast is, you guys feel obligated to read too, I presume, because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I picked the first book. We already did the podcast on that. That was the 4-hour work week. And Adrian came up with this. We're just going in order like this. So Juan will be the one who picks the next book. But the first book that Adrian picked is Read People Like a Book by Patrick King. What made you pick that book?
I wanted to read this book and specifically because in the barbershop, it's all about body language. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a big thing that anybody should decipher in like day-to-day life. Like if you're talking to somebody, let's say you're trying to do this big business deal, right? And you can see little things that kind of turn off a person of how the deal's going, you can instantly change that to your advantage. Like, all right, he's not liking this, let me change it up. Boom. Just like the book talks about micro expressions. And there's actually a TV show, a badass TV show that's it's called Lie to Me. And it's a guy who is called the Ekman, it's like the Truman Lighthouse, whatever. It's like a group of people, and they basically work for the police officers to try to solve crimes by seeing if somebody's lying or not through micro expressions. And it's a guy who went to like this Indonesian like indigenous like type of people just to like read their expressions like for like 10 years straight. So I think it's a badass book for that reason.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. Where did you hear about it from?
I actually just Googled. I was like top 20 books that any entrepreneur should read, and it had a lot of books that you were mentioning, like in that list. And this was one of them. This was one of them in the list. So I was just like, man, we kind of read a book that had to do a lot with finances, and it was a good book.
Right.
But if you're not into finances like that, it could be boring to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, really, every finance book is kind of boring, honestly.
I mean, for you, dog. I liked it.
But it was a good book.
Yeah.
I love that. Was like that's in one of my top 5 books now, the 4-hour work week. But I wanted to pick this book because it was kind of like an appetizer.
You know why it's in his top 5 books?
Why?
Because he's read 2. Just fucking.
No, but I read a lot of books
His
before.
first 5 books are going to be top 5.
It's my top 3.
It's my top.
I only read 3.
How many books you actually got in your like list that you've read? Like count.
Me?
Right now, yeah.
Me?
Like total books you read, let's say in the past 5 years.
So if it wasn't for school, and so over the age of 18, like not for college, books that I actually read for the enjoyment of wanting to read them, probably less than 20.
Okay, I'm there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like but this is like what I mentioned to you guys the first time is like this is a habit that I want to be in because like I feel like successful people read.
Yeah,
and so
they
like it's something that I have beat myself up on that I want to make sure I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, instead of just relying on myself to keep me accountable, it makes it more fun and more engaging when there's other people involved with it. And then, you get people to bounce ideas off of like, hey bro, did you hear this about this book or blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I like that we come in together and we talk about it and review it kind of thing. So
definitely.
I like that a lot too. So,
oh yeah.
So Adrian does read. I'm just fucking with him. All right. So we go over...
I'm gonna get my notes ready.
Yeah, you're good, brother. You're brother. Just your phone scared me. No, so Juan, do you want to start talking about like what? Because you did audiobook, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me a little bit about how the audiobook was. Was it?
It was better than the previous book we read because the guy was more. He had a little bit more charisma than being monotone. So he was more. It actually got you like, huh? So when I'm walking my dog drunk for like an hour, this dude will say stuff like, yeah, like you ever like have a conversation with somebody but you can see like how their feet are pointing like away, and it's like, all right man, time to wrap up this conversation. But there are some people that will continue to keep talking to you. I'm like, bro, man, like I'm really trying to get out of here. But I started noticing, because in the book they talked about that, they're like, yeah, people will tend to like when they're comfortable with somebody Like you'll see if you'll exclude them in the group, depending on how you're like positioning with your like legs. So like let's say you're at a club or something, a bar or any social gathering event, and like somebody just comes to like your little group. If people don't want to include that guy, they'll kind of like, you know, like he'll be like here, and it's like, you know, like the group's here, he's right here, and it's kind of like,
out of the group.
yeah, they're slowly like trying to close the gap or something.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot. When you go to bars, that shit happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
Or like if you're walking, you know what I mean? Remember back in like high school, you'd be like walking with a friend, and like if like there's 2 or 3 of you guys, typically if it's like 3 or 4 people, it's like you're the one person that's straggling behind, and no one seems to give a shit, but you're like, oh, I want to hear what like we're talking about, shit. And you're like. It feels like they're walking faster, like, or like you can't.
Were you that guy?
Fuck yeah! What was going on?
Were you that guy?
Sometimes it just depended, right? And then that person starts to feel excluded. Almost feels like the other people are excluding them too. So I mean, I'm sure that's happened to everybody. I'm sure. If it was just me,
no, it happened to me too.
everybody.
I was just talking shit. It happened to me too,
bro. I ain't that popular.
you just feel like this. Oh fuck, my anxiety.
So. What was your thoughts about the book, Adrian?
Bro, honestly, I liked it, man. I actually read this book this week.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I actually doubled down and I did 3 days solid of just reading it, bro.
Nice.
I really didn't have time this month. A lot of shit happened, you know, in the holidays. I had a lot of shit going on, and I really wanted to read this book, and I didn't want to just bullshit through it, you know. So I literally spent 3 days like solid. Like right after work, I'll just come home because I stopped drinking. So just come and just read, bro, for at least 6 hours.
Congrats on not drinking.
Thank
I'm
you,
still
bro.
gonna fucking drink though.
No, yeah, you go for it, brother.
It's his MO, dude.
Today is 1 month. one fucking month of no alcohol. You better not fucking take that out.
I'm not going.
Okay.
Why would I take that out?
I'm just playing. You look like you were nervous about that. It was a
Not
micro
nervous at all.
expression.
No, it's funny. I wanted to see if the camera was still recording. I have to keep checking those things.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now,
It's a good book.
my personal thoughts. I didn't really like the book
Here
at all.
we go.
I did
Here
not
we
like
go.
the book at all.
I
bro.
knew you were gonna say that.
I did not like it. It was too. I don't know, bro. It just felt. It felt like it was somebody who just threw a book together to try and get people to buy it. For me, that's what it felt like to me. So let me start by saying the things that I liked about it. All right, I'm done. So I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. What I liked about it was that they used different. They used like actual test studies that were done by like psychologists and throughout history, and you know, it's stuff that I learned in psychology class in high school. But I mean, it was AP psychology. So
yeah.
But you get to learn like the different tests that people have done and how they ran them and what they kind of gathered from it. But then similarly, they talk about how, you know, like they talk about like the Myers-Briggs personality test and how like it's great for certain things, but then there's other personality tests that are better for other things. And the gist of the book that I got was that there's no real telltale way to tell.
Yeah, that's basically.
So I got it in the book. What I didn't like is that the title of the book says "Read People Like a Book," and I'm like, okay, so when you read a book, you like, there's no like you either read it or you don't read it. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh well, maybe you read it, maybe you didn't. And I felt like I was expecting some concrete way on how to do it, and I wasn't given a concrete way. It's like, well, it could be this way, it could be that way, it could be this way, it could be that way.
Well, this is a psychological book.
Right.
Yeah, it's not no finance book, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's in the entrepreneur guideline of some tricks that can help you build an edge.
Right.
And it's just like the last book, the 4-Hour Week. Like, honestly, like how I said about the last book, great book. But there was a lot of fucking filler, how I told you.
Yeah.
A lot of filler. And honestly, all that filler is basically what's in this book. Like, it's as much filler was in that book, it makes the whole complete of this book.
Right.
I'm saying so.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah.
To me, I personally, I like this book because it was more like all right, let's stop talking about finance and let's go into like an easier book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
psychology wise.
Yeah, psychology wise, just a little to build the edge. Because honestly, like there's some tips in there that I was like, oh shit, well I didn't know that, so now I can use that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I learned those tips too. Like they're talking about how you were saying the feet pointing a certain direction and stuff. That I definitely never thought about that. But it makes sense too. Like when you start talking about like how if there's like a circle of people talking and the circle is like too tight enough to where one person's like slightly out of that circle, now they don't feel like as included and they feel like separated of that group.
And bro, you see that everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like this book also helped me a lot at the shop too, because I read this book last week and I used it. I tried to use it a lot this week coming in, and bro, a lot of that shit is pretty cool. Like, cause I was talking to one of my clients and I was like talking on a kind of a touchy subject, and in this book it says right when somebody feels like nervous or uncomfortable, we have a primal instinct to cover our what's it called, our
Like touch our neck.
Yeah, to touch our neck, to protect ourselves, like from like, you know, like fucking lions bite necks like off rip, like that's something that's built into their fucking system to kill a predator. Like we have that primal instinct to like cover our sensitive areas. Yeah. So we're like, oh man, I don't know how I like that, you know, like touching your neck, or like right now you're touching your like
scratch my beard.
Yeah. And that's another thing, because you're covering your neck right here from any type of danger. That means you're instinctively uncomfortable. Yeah, but that's another. It could be right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot of flaws.
No, it's
to it,
for sure. That's kind of a cool thing to think about too. Now, for me, I think the reason I didn't like it isn't because it's not a good book. I think it's because it's just not the genre that I like, or it's something
there you go. Yeah.
Maybe I've read a book that's something similar to that. Like I read is it Dale Carnegie's book? I think that's the author's name. Carnegie. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
And that was very similar to this to me, like psychology wise.
That one's actually a better book than this one.
Yeah,
I like that book.
Yeah,
I really like that book.
I listened to that one on audiobook, and I feel like I didn't get as much out of it that way, but I still got a lot out of it. I thought it was a good book.
I mean, I only read 3 books, man. Like, I'm trying to catch up to you guys.
You're good, brother. What makes you want to read, Adrian?
Me, just to have the edge on people. Yeah, like I like to be, like that's why kind of the reason why I stopped drinking. Like I feel like if I have that edge of not drinking, I can wake up earlier. I'm not wasting money on liquor. Like literally this month I tallied how much money I would have saved and everything. So every time I went out, I was just like, every time I had a thought about buying a drink, I would write down how much money I was gonna spend on that drink.
Really?
Yeah. So yesterday was the last day, and I went out to 4 bars yesterday, 4 places that had alcohol, and each time I had to like, damn, I wish I had a drink right now. Or if the people I was with, they ordered another round, I'd be like, well, I would have got another round. So I would just put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like if you're in prison, how many days?
Right.
Put 1, 1, 1, and then after that, I did the average of a drink, so it's $15. So I tallied everything up for a whole month, and I would have spent $2,400 in a month.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Crazy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you never even probably considered that you spent that much money on alcohol before.
No, I never thought that shit. And like Juan knows, bro. When we go out, we fucking go out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop drinking forever. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely wanted to try out and to see if I had that willpower to not drink for a month.
Bro, these things help a lot. Not, I guess with not like I like beer.
They're helping me with my hangover right now. So.
I was about to say this probably is really good for your hangover.
It
right
is.
Now. Yeah.
It tastes amazing.
Yeah, this is pretty good shit right here.
Yeah. Well, to me they help with because like this is almost like drinking a beer because it hits all the sensations except for it doesn't have alcohol. Like it's the bubbliness and the get like the I don't know,
just giving me flashbacks of neutrals and White Claws I had yesterday.
I can see you right now just crushing cans in the WWE like on your head.
No,
fucking let's go.
That was an experience like no other. No, but most of the things I got from this book was really just learning perspective.
Yes,
made the main thing, and then it was like, here are some techniques and some tips to like read people, and then it gets down like, but don't always look for those things because it's probably not true if they're always doing it. It's just habit.
Like how you were saying right there. That. Like you have to find a baseline.
Yeah.
Like in that TV show, Lie to Me, that's the first thing they do. So they ask a series of questions, like just like a lie detector test. They try to see where your baseline's at. So they ask like, "What's do you have a mom?" You say yes. Then they'll check your heart rate to see if it's stable. And then they'll ask like, "Do you have a dad?" Like, yeah. And then like if it goes off, that means like something's off. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they'll ask you another question if something was off. If you have a dad, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I have a dad, but he's not with us." See, that's where you like, oh, okay, now I see why you had a little.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
kind of like build the people up. I mean, I've always told one of my buddies, I'm like everything had to be built that you like see, right? So a lot of times I go like reverse engineer that for me. Like in my mind, that's what I think about a lot. So if you see somebody who's homeless and strung out on drugs, I'm like, okay, reverse engineer that. Because that was somebody's kid once. they have, terrible upbringing, they have, all these issues, then they, because of these habits that they now have, they have this issue with, like keeping a job, and because they can't keep it, and it's not always that way, but it's like, it's a snowball effect of how it gets there. And success for me, in my mind, is the same way. It's a snowball of good habits and that build up. And so I always say reverse engineer it. So like when they were talking about like people, you break them down into like, were you raised without a dad?
Yeah.
I mean, that then you can kind of like, okay, you can kind of see like where that goes. Like,
I can see the route.
I've heard statistically too, like the worst areas in like the country with like the most crime and stuff like that, like it has a higher population of kids growing up without fathers.
Yeah. It's crazy how statistics breaks it down to you, bro. To the,
I don't like that word. Statistics.
Why?
Because I have that class right now.
Oh, it's a swear word right now.
I got
you don't
homework
like
to
it?
do later.
Bro, I barely passed statistics. I hated that class.
and I want to go, since we're talking about the book, I want to go off that. You know how you say about the no dad and whatever, and like how not doing something in your past life kind of resulted into what is now. Well, in the book, it really does talk about. It talks about that same genre, and I forgot what chapter it was. I think it was in chapter 3, where it talks about, okay, let's say we're having a discussion right now, and I say something that offended you. Oh yeah, well, you're, or something about, oh yeah, my dad's really cool and this and that, and then you start to feel like he was saying an example where a guy was just like, oh, I started to feel uncomfortable, and he was like, what's wrong, bro? He's just like, well, I don't got a dad too, so then it kind of like goes into that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone, I mean, we're all just like a conglomeration of like our past, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And our past is what guides our future, unfortunately. So, I think that the book was pretty good for like talking about that, because like I realize that with the podcast a lot too, is because I meet a lot of new people, and when I meet somebody new, I kind of like, I've got kind of like defenses up. I'm very quiet when I first meet somebody that I haven't met before, and obviously you guys know me for a long time. Like I have no problem not shutting the fuck up, you know what I mean? Like, I'll talk a lot, but like
it's different. Like it's different for
damn,
us.
Juan, don't laugh at me when I say that, dog.
You do talk a lot, but that's good though.
Yeah.
You gotta have one of those friends, man.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like
You do too.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Mine is different.
Fuck
Mine is
no,
more
bro.
like I'll talk and then change the subject and then try to like know that I already shifted out of the story, but I'm trying to tell other stories to guide me back to the other story.
So that's you talking a lot.
Yeah, that's me.
Bro, I'll sit with this guy, look, at his house. Right when I walk in, I was like, what's up, brother? He's like, oh, what's up, man? And he was like, it's always something. It's always I have something or he has something.
Yeah.
So if he starts it off, bro, we're there on that same, right when I walk in, the same story for like 2 hours. How
It's a very interesting story.
It'll go into the story, and then midway he'll start like breaking off into why that happened, and then he'll break off to why that happened. Then he'll go all the way back to the reason why everything happened.
Bro, listen to Juan's last episode of the podcast where he talks about the ayahuasca, dude. That was the second half of the podcast.
Yeah,
it was like a 2-hour long podcast, and the second half was just all Juan talking about the ayahuasca thing. Because
I want to go back. I need another one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Remember, there's
do.
prerequisites, Juan.
Yeah. Is it you
No
need
sex
another one?
and no alcohol. So don't do what you did last time and have a bunch of sex and alcohol.
I can do that.
Wow.
Bro, he said the way he said it on the podcast.
No,
it made me laugh though, because the way you said it was like I didn't know that, so I had been doing a bunch of that. Is the way it made it sound like that's what you said.
Yeah.
and I didn't know that.
Sex and blow.
Because he's like there were some prerequisites.
Hell no.
You're not supposed to. He's like you're not supposed to drink and have a bunch of sex before you do this. And he said I didn't know that. And I'm like, oh, so that's what you were doing. Like that's the way he insinuated.
Bro,
this
this guy's an animal, bro.
Bro, it's funny.
Stop that. Making me look a type of way.
What was
Bro,
what's his nickname?
Am I wrong, or is he the one with the Playboy hat right now?
Bro.
He has a lot of sex.
I gotta bring that up. It was my hat. I just
What did
found
you
it.
tell me his nickname was?
Oh.
Nah,
Look, I didn't give him that nickname. I didn't. I wish I did.
I'm gonna get a lot of women that are gonna if they watch it, they'll be like, "He's a fuckboy."
Yeah.
I'm like,
He is that one, bro.
Mr. Bitches.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Mr.
Yep.
Bitches.
you know, did I tell you how that name started or anything?
No.
Bro, tell him the story. You gotta hear the story.
Okay.
Bro, man. So what happened was we go out to
Fucking Jesus. It was loud, bro.
I'll go do it.
yeah, but like long story short, this book was really short. But are we done with the book? Or are we gonna
No, we can
Just
go
go
into your
with the
story, bitch.
I'm just dang,
You got me hanging on a thread right now.
Telling a story now. All right, story time. So what happened was I just came back from DC, and in DC when I would go out, I had like these other 3 groups of guys there, and I was always the icebreaker basically. So they see a group of women there, they'll be like, "Go Junior, go." So I'll just go talk to them. And I got used to like rejection at first, and like when people are nervous in the first time, I'm like, "Oh, but you're trying to be cool in front of your friends, right?" So it's like, "Oh, like take a shot." They reject you, I'm gonna take a shot. I shot my shot, didn't work out, I'm gonna go take a tequila shot. And then the more and more drunk you get, it's like it just becomes a game.
You become more comfortable.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, she rejected you. Take a shot, loser." So what happened was, that whole DC thing. I had that environment, and I come here. Now in DC, I was the young one. Here, I'm more the older one with like the group of friends I have. So it was more like, man, I got to be more mature. Blah blah blah. This, I don't know why I felt like that when I first got back. I felt like I was probably trying to prove something, but I really wasn't. And I've noticed that about myself. This book kind of helped me out. So I'm kind of more of myself lately. But we go to Orlando. There's these beautiful women there, right? And at this point, I'm like half a bottle of tequila in. And I'm freaking like the Latin music comes on, J Balvin, Bad Bunny. And these girls are just like in the circle, like they're not really like making people like included in their group. Mm-hmm. And I just like they're dancing, and all of a sudden I didn't even say anything. It was more like I went up to one, and I don't know why I went up to I'm not saying she was the ugliest one, but the ugliest one rejected me, bro. So I went up to her, and she was like, "No, I got a boyfriend," or whatever lie, whatever they say. But her other friends saw that, and then they're all like, "Yo, you fucking stupid." Like, they're talking their way. So I'm walking back, and I'm like, it's whatever. And I see like another group of girls there, and my cousin Carlos is there, my brother, and we have like a whole squad there, right? All of a sudden, like one of her friends comes like and snatches me before I started about to approach this other group of women. And then there was a song that played. I'm trying to remember it, but the reason this song was so important was because it was like a dancing song, like merengue, I think. And all of a sudden I'm dancing with one girl, and then I'm dancing with another girl, and then I'm dancing with another girl, and another girl. So my cousin Carla was like, 5 bitches, 3 songs. That's Mr. Bitches right there. And he said that, and it just like
some WWE shit. Like,
yeah.
5 bitches, 3 songs.
And it was crazy. And bro,
like fucking 3 titles. Let's go.
And the thing that was crazy is because like the group of girls that went with us, they were probably like, "Oh, like I wonder how this guy is," because I just came back from DC, so I didn't grow up like with them going to college or in like their early 20s and stuff like that. So it was more like, oh, this is reminding me of DC. So I just felt like I was in my element. And
didn't realize you had been practicing.
I did exactly. It just became natural, and like it happened yesterday too. Like with the big red boots. Like
you were wearing them?
Yeah, look at this. I got blisters there because of the boots,
bro. Rubbing.
Those big red boots, bro.
But what's it called? We went out to Soho after. So I think we went to. I like the Groove. It's like a newer place, and when I went there with
right next to Soho Saloon. Yeah, that place is badass.
And when I went there, the white girls, they were like, "Oh my God, you got the boots!" Blah, blah, blah. And they're all like coming up to you next.
Yeah, you need confidence to wear them, bro.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, you like them?" They're like, "Yeah, blah blah." This. My brother's just like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" So it's like it was like an aura of like bringing people in.
We went to fucking Armature Works to go out to eat for dinner, and this guy was like, "Bro, should I wear the red boots?" He just got them. I'm like, "Fuck it." Like, do it. And then we're walking through Armature Works. We just got done with dinner. Mind you, right when we walk in for dinner, a waiter's passing by. Right when we walk in, he's like, "Oh my God, bro, you did it, man. You did it. You got the red boots." We sit down. He's over there still talking to the guy. Like, that's talking about the boots. So we leave dinner. We're going upstairs to Embark. While we're going upstairs, a fucking famous Instagram model comes up to this guy, like, jacked. Like, but still looks good, But she's like toned.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he.
No. She's toned, bro. Like sexy girl. Tatted and all. She comes up to him. She's wearing J's. She's like in her urban outfit and shit. She comes up to him, gets his Instagram. Like, yeah, like I don't know what they're talking about, but he got the number, bro. Yeah. famous Instagram. She was like, bro, look at her Instagram, fucking 45K, something like that. I was like, damn, bro. And she has like professional pics. Like, you know, she was the real deal. You know what I'm saying? She has sponsors and shit. I was like, damn, that's pretty badass. I need some red boots.
Yeah, you have to have confidence to wear them because I definitely wouldn't wear those.
You gotta have confidence.
But they become a conversation piece too.
No, yeah.
It's such an icebreaker. Like I'll just be like going to a bar. Like when I go to the bar, I'll just be like, let's say I'm like, hey bro, you want a drink? And he'll be like, yeah. I'm on vibe here. I'm like, all right. I'll go to the bar, and like
Pull the microphone up to you one.
I'll go to the bar. I feel like I'm going more and more back. But people, it just attracts a lot of drunk people too, because they're like, oh my fucking god, they're like, are they hard to take off? I'm like, yes. Like,
hard, bro. Hard to take off.
Oh,
like you need somebody there to help you, bro. They're hard to take off.
yeah, but
When I wore his, like I had to he had to pull them off me, bro, because I couldn't.
Bro, sorry, go ahead on.
and even like at the Royal Rumble, because it was my first WWE event, and I was telling my brother, I'm like, hey, if we're gonna go to this, we got floor seats. I ain't wasting this like moment or opportunity. I'm gonna go big. And then I'm like, which one should I wear, the yellow ones or the red ones? Because I have both. And he was like, whichever, bro, it don't matter. He's like, are you really gonna wear them? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna wear them. And I just bought like a replica title, and it was it's very heavy. I was gonna bring it here, but I was like, I don't know if y'all fuck with that like that.
We don't, but if you do,
leave
that's
it
cool.
like right there. This thing is huge.
I would've, I'd put it there.
But also, it's like we're going into the Royal Rumble, and like we're walking in St. Pete, down the road, and like at first people are like starting to notice. They're like, "Oh, damn, you got the boots." And some people are like, "Can I take a photo like with you in the boots, or can I just take a photo of the boots?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care." You'll see people doing like this, like lights and everything. Like, bro, it's like my brother's like, "Damn, I feel like I'm with a fucking celebrity right now." And I'm like, I know, it's just my feet.
Bro, you need a fur coat to wear with them bitches, dude.
Yeah,
You need
like a
big
pimp
one, like a big one. Bro.
Latex.
And then,
Bro, I'm talking like one of those real big ass. I'm talking the ones that make you like look like you're about to walk through snow, dog. You need one of those.
Yeah. Or maybe just get like an Astro Boy outfit. You know what I'm talking about? With the boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you do one of those, you'll go hard as fuck. Hard in paint.
One of the best moments was like, all right, so when we were getting drinks at the Royal Rumble, this is kind of embarrassing. I told myself I wasn't going to spend that much money. But no, I spent a lot. I was like, I'm here, my first moment with my brother. We're sharing this moment. This is something we've always wanted to come. It was like it was like one of those moments where it's like, I can't describe how happy I was being there.
Right.
But I think the next thing will probably be a WrestleMania event or me getting married one day. Like that's that's how happy I was.
Maybe if he gets married and has kids, gets to see them go to college or something. No, wrestling number one.
And like, what's it called? They have, because we had the floor section, right? So like I have videos. I'm trying to like edit them or like post them later. But it's like there was 48,000 people in attendance. Wow. Not only that, it's like where we were going, right? You have like the seats here and the floor seats here. But there's like this like, what's it called? I guess a runway or an aisle, whatever. Yeah. It's really big. And yeah, you have like cops and security guards there. But it's like if I have to, then there was another one where it's like a bunch of people will see you. Like, so I'm like, let's take a shortcut. So we went through there. Bro, it's like, people were still like into like, they're watching the matches and stuff. But I mean, nothing wrong with women wrestling, but it's like
it sounds like me talking about women's MMA. I'm like, oh, it's great, but
those girls go hard, bro.
They do go hard, but it's like you can tell it's like some of the wrestlers were just like they were new, so it's like they don't have that audience boost when they come out. So like you would see people like heads down, and then they would like look up.
It takes more to get people's respect if you're a lady. It does. It just does.
It does.
Yeah.
And you'll see like again, it's like everybody's just like pointing like, oh my god, oh this, and I was like, damn, like holy shit, I feel, and it's that freaking energy and it just builds up on you. But then when we went to go get drinks, the lady went to the concession stand like all the time. She already knew what we wanted. We only went to her 3 times, but because she knew. I'm like, oh, it's the guy with the red boots.
It's the boots, dog.
Yeah, she, like, that was, like, pineapple. I'm like, damn, this is my second time coming here.
Yeah.
But, man, like, I think this is where like me and my brother were like, all right, like we already like 4 drinks in before we got in the event, and my brother was like, I got the first round or whatever. He's like, you bought the tickets, blah blah blah. I got the first round, and when my brother's like happy and lit, he's gonna be like that, like, no, I got it, and I was like, all right, bro, all right. And for the lady was like, yeah, can I get 2 neutrals? And she puts them in a cup. And she was like, do you want a third one? Like, we'll just put it in half so you can have more to drink, so you don't have to keep coming here. And I was like, oh, okay. Bro, it was $50 for 3 drinks. And I was like, my dumb ass would buy it. And 3 times. So it was like that. And then, what's it called? I think I spent it twice. My brother had the first round. But the next other 2, I had it. So that was like $100 I spent on drinks. And then when we went to Soho, my brother was like, I'm buying all the drinks here. Yeah. So I was like, okay. I don't know how much I drank. And like, I woke up like a little hungover, not like too hungover.
Mm-hmm. What was the embarrassing part? What was the funny part you were going to say?
Bro, I went off on so much, man. I don't even remember. See, like I said, man.
I'm like, where's your story going, though?
I know, see what I mean?
Oh, my God. See, perfect fucking example, bro.
Halfway through, bro, I was just like, what was the point? What were we originally talking about? I'm like, okay, it was the boots. It's the boots. And then he's just like, but then I spent $100 on drinks. And I'm like, okay, is it the drinks we were talking about? Like, I'm just
oh, my God.
Now I can't remember it.
You're good,
no,
brother.
but it was like, there was like an exposed area. It was like super wide and stuff, and you saw like some like people representing like their colleges or whatever like that. So one guy, he was from LSU, or I guess he was a big fan of LSU. He was LSU'd out, right? This dude was like, can I take a picture of the title? And because he was in the moment, he went by himself. And I was like, damn, you're by yourself? He's like, yeah, diehard fan. And I was like, damn, man, this is my first one. And he was like, yeah, like, I always wanted to have a title. I'm like, here, take a picture of this. So take that, throw it on him. He's like, oh, and it was like seeing, like, it was weird because it's like this whole time, like, growing up, it's like I used to watch WWE, and, you know, I'd talk about it in, like, Cork Elementary. And then once you get to middle school, a lot of people don't fuck with it anymore because they're all like, oh, it's a kid thing. Like, that's just for kids. It's fake or whatever. And I'm like, so I would keep watching it. And then when once I started playing soccer, like, more seriously, I didn't watch it anymore. And it was just like, oh, I don't really watch it as seriously. But I would still watch it every Friday because Friday it was always pizza. Like with my family, we'd always get pizza on Fridays. And then once we got into high school, you know, I'm starting to watch it a little bit more. But we didn't have what's it called, like streaming services and stuff, so we couldn't watch like the pay-per-view events. And we couldn't watch Monday Night Raw because we didn't even have cable. We had like that box thing. Mm-hmm. So the only thing we would really watch was just SmackDown, and it was just on Fridays. Never watched Raw because it was only on the USA Network, and because of that, it was like I'm not getting all the storylines and stuff. But then, what's it called? I think it was once I came back, my brother was like, bro, you gotta check this out. Yeah. Check how hard this guy hit. And it's like somebody getting like thrown through the tables or like. Yeah. And it just brought me back. So now
that's how UFC works with me. Is like it's something that like I really enjoyed, but it's hard to keep up with by yourself. So it helps to have friends that are also interested in that too. Because like now I watch the fights pretty religiously, but it's because I have friends that we're constantly talking about it. I do a podcast about it, stuff like that.
That's what sports betting. Now I watch every sport. Yeah, I used to hate watching sports. The only sport I used to watch is boxing, but now I watch everything, and just because I put money on it, so I have to. Yeah. Like, it gets you, like, if you put money on it, it gets you, like...
Involved.
Yeah, involved in it.
Yeah. Bro, people do pretty well with sports betting, too. A lot of people do.
Bro, this week I just made $3K.
Nice.
$3K in, like, 3 days. Well, like, four and a half.
Nice.
Fucking crazy, bro. Like, just betting on the team. Like, if you watch sports and you know who's going to win and you know why and you know which players are out.
If you're that involved in it.
Bro, yeah, like, you can win easy money. Like,
yeah.
I just did, like, since I went to finance school, I put $10 in. All right, I made $10. Put $10 in. I put a bet to win me like $40. All right, boom, I win that bet. Now I split it. Now I got 20. I'm saying $20. Now I put 2 bets out for $20. And if I both win, I fucking split it in 4s.
So you should just keep growing your money over and over
Bro,
and over
it's
and over.
crazy, bro. It's literally free money. Like yesterday at dinner, I was at dinner, and I put 3 bets in, and it paid for the whole night,
Nice.
bro. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So to change subjects, to go back to the book.
yeah.
Things that I didn't like about the book. I don't know if yours was like this. I know you have the hard copy. I don't know if it's better or not, but I didn't like the spacing of the words.
And I was just gonna tell you that. Like
It was weird, right?
It's like that. Is that how yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just weird how it was like printed on the page, right? Am I not the only one who thought that? Well, obviously Juan doesn't think that, but
It was a very short book though. Even
Yeah,
on the
it's
on the audiobook, it was only like 4 hours and like 56 minutes.
Yeah, it's a short
not bad.
book, but I think they did it like that just because, I mean, it's not a lot of information, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and they made it. I think they did it that way to make the book the size that it is. Because when
Yeah.
you look at this, you think it's more, but because when you look at the actual, when you open it up and look at pages, there's not
Yeah.
that many words on each
it's
page.
not, bro. It's not.
They've got big margins all the way around, and then some of the spacing is just weird though. Like,
It's like a
like look here, it says changing throughout our lives. Like look at the spaces between the words. Like, it just gets real. I don't know. It was real weird. I also found a lot of typos. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. I saw the spacing of the words freaked me out. I saw some typos, like the margins. So somebody who I typically read with one hand.
yeah.
So I put like one hand on the book, and then like I've started doing the finger pointing thing, like like we learned about the 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
And I noticed that like the words are so close to the spine of the book that it was like I had to like hold the book a certain way to make sure I could read the inside, the word that was the closest to the spine on the left side of the page. I just wanted to mention that. It seems like this was printed weird. Like it was just like that. Like it wasn't like a.
Oh, it's not like grammatical issues. It was more just like.
There's some that was just typos where stuff was spelled wrong, or like instead of being don't, it was like. Or maybe that wasn't the specific.
But there's a lot of books that are like that,
right?
Because
this one just had it more often than the other books. For how short of a book it would be, I think they would have a better proofreading process.
I think because just like I've used books as art, so everybody has to have their own style. If everybody typed everything the same, it would be boring as fuck.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So I just think this was just like more of like, let's just get the information out there, you know?
Yeah.
Like get the information out there and we'll type it like this. And the spacing was kind of weird for me. The font size.
Yes.
Font size was like, damn, this is pretty big. Like I don't even need my glasses for this shit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But I think it was because of just how little information it was. Like they wanted it to be like a good sized book.
Oh, even yours is printed different than mine is, though.
Yeah.
Because you have so that was just my experience. The center of the spine, yours isn't like that, but you have the hardcover, and I got the paperback.
Then you also got to realize that this guy, he only has a little bit of books, so he's probably not funded either.
He has a lot of books from what I was reading. He's got
Really?
like from like 10.
He only had like 10 minus.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Patrick King, because he's known as being an author. Patrick King books. Yeah. I didn't hate the book, but so there's read people like a book, small talk or better small talk, improve your conversation. Yeah, like these are all his books.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I only got to 3 books.
He has
so
like less than 20.
I only read 3.
Yeah, but it's all. This is what kills me is it's all 2021, 2020, 2022, 2023, 2018, 2019, 2022, 2023.
Oh, they're all in the same.
He's
year,
writing.
Yeah,
He's putting out a lot. He's putting out books like I put out podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's probably why is he spends less time on each book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this all starts in like 2017, 2016. So basically from like then on, it seems like he's writing 1 to 2 books, sometimes 3 a year.
Yeah, that's kind of that's not enough time to write a good beefy book.
I don't
You know what I'm
think so.
saying?
I don't think so.
No. I didn't even know he wrote all those at the same.
I didn't realize it was that many until right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. So that plays a big factor too. It
Maybe,
really
and
does,
that makes sense though. That would make sense why he would want to. He probably wants all of his books to be because how much this was 250. He probably wants all his books to be about 200 to 300 pages.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise, if it's too thin of a book, people get this people in this subject probably don't want to read a book that's 100 pages.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Because like I would if I saw a thin book, I'd be like, well, that's for a kid, dog. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
you
I'm
get
an
turned
adult.
off. You get like automatically. You judge a book by its cover, basically.
Somehow,
Yeah,
I'm an adult, bro. Let me read this book, dog.
Yeah.
But
Nah, that's a good point right there, though.
But I do think there's valuable things to take from it. I just feel like I judge a book by how many valuable things I feel like I could directly use, and I just feel like there's, for me, less usable things in this book, and there's books out there that do a better job of it. So in saying that, we did this last time. We gave our David Portnoy rating system on this, on our scale of 1 to 10. What did you give it?
This? What do we rate? We rated the other book like a 7, right?
I think you gave it a 6 or a 7.
Yeah. I give this one like... Just because I knew what type of book it was, and I knew like, all right, this ain't gonna be no like financial literacy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like more of a book just to read. Like, all right, this is cool. Like, all right, this is all right. It's like this is like a how you say like a discovery book. You know, like animal. You just flip through it, you read, and like, all right, cool. All right. So I give it honestly like a 5.2, honestly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I get a 5.2. It's not better than the last book, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's got stuff you can use
I got
from
stuff that I can use from it.
Especially in your line of work, I could see how something like this would be so valuable because every day you're having someone walk in face to face and you have like 5 to 10 seconds. Like, is this guy going to shoot me or ask for a haircut? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can honestly, I give it a 5.2 for the solely fact that I did find at least 5 things that I found useful in this book. And I'm like, all right, cool. 5 things. I didn't have to spend too much time reading it. Literally read it in 3 days. Some books, it takes like a month for you to read.
Yeah.
This one was quick, simple, to the point. Boom.
Yeah.
Good book for that. A good teaser book. Good, like, the spacing was weird, but it helped me to, like, read it. It was fast, you know. Each page, I felt like I was flying by it.
Right.
Boom. Dislikes, definitely, it was like a short book. I wish they had more concrete evidence. I wish they had more tips and tricks.
More examples.
Mm-hmm. I wish he went into the details. He went into more details of the examples. Mm-hmm. I wish there was more of that. And but definitely, like, if you're in a line of work where you're talking to people every day,
to close, just randoms talk to you.
Yeah, to close a sell or in a consumer fucking work, definitely read this book.
Yeah,
definitely read it because there's no other book like it. Honestly, it's read people like a book for a reason, you know.
Yeah,
but
and it's mainly like that first. It's like that first time you meet them, right in front of them.
Yeah,
how to deal with it.
Yeah, this is like that first, like, you're on your own once you're locked in. You know what I'm saying? But this is for your first time, like, good impression. You want to read somebody, like, all right.
It's like the first 10 to 15 minutes of talking to somebody. Yeah, basically.
You're gonna know off rip if they like you or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And somebody just shoves you off, like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll get back to you. Like, you know, you didn't lock that shit in. Yeah.
Juan,
what's up?
What's your rating on this book?
Probably like a 5. A 4.
4? Dang, dude.
I gotta rate something low. Like, I only read 3 books because I've noticed it's like, okay, the David Goggin ones I rated high because it got me into running.
Yeah.
And then the other book was very lengthy and it was very monotone, so I had to rate that something like to where I'm like, all right, I didn't really quite enjoy
that book. You definitely had to read though.
Yeah,
like,
you
had to
like,
see it because they like to hear an audiobook read an URL to you because
you don't want to listen to an audiobook of that book. You know what I'm saying? David Goggins, you want an audiobook. Yeah, that shit's like Goggins, get the fuck out the bed. That's what I did. I fucking went and grabbed fucking logs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then this one was like, there was some stuff I already knew, and that's just from experience. It was more of like reading people. It was like, okay, like, this is what a person does. Oh, he's looking to the left, he's lying. I'm like, yeah, but if he's doing that all the time, like, maybe he had his mom that was gonna beat him all the time, so he always had to look to his left. So that's the way he thinks. He's like, he ain't lying, he's having flashbacks. But it's like there were some things I was like, when it talked about women and stuff, like when they were about to, like, when they're, I guess, in a way, trying to flirt, or they'll show signs and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you like that part.
Like, Mr. Bitches.
Somehow I knew that part was going to be brought up. I was let me see. Yeah, Mr. Bitches. But that shit's good, man. I honestly wouldn't rate this book anything lower than a 3 just because, like, you get some useful shit. Like, a book that sucks, you'll know. Like, it's just straight bullshit.
I can't fucking read it.
So my rating on this is, the rating that I gave it is because of several things for me. I judge a book a lot by how much I want to pick it up and read it. Mm-hmm. How much I would reread it and how much the subject that they were talking about meant to me. Because my rating is my rating because of what I like.
No,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So like to me, the guy who wrote this might give it a 10 out of 10 because that's what he likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for me, I gave it a 2 out of 10 because of those factors. I had to choke this book down personally. Like I had to force myself to pick it up and read it. Yeah. And the books, even though there's like, I read another book after this, before and after this. I remember you telling me that. Yeah, I already read another book the same month, and like that one, it like the only reason I would put it down was because I'd have other things I have to do. Like I was wanting to read the other book. I only wanted to read this one to be done with it for the podcast. So it was less, I guess, from an entertainment or a stimulation aspect of it. I gave it a 2 out of 10 because it seemed like it was written quickly. It seemed like it was not really considered as far as like how others would benefit from it as much. It seems like the guy who wrote it is incredibly knowledgeable, but it seems like he is getting to the... What's that noise? Y'all hear that? That's just me?
It's probably foot. It's your foot. Like rubbing on the camera.
Oh, my bad. So, but like, it seems like this guy has a lot of knowledge, and he writes books like this because he goes and does speeches and is, you know, consulting and stuff like that. And this is an extra way for him to make money, is by selling books to people. I mean, I don't know. That's just my how I felt reading the book. I felt like that was true. I don't know. I haven't looked up the guy up to see if that's what he does or not.
Yeah, definitely. But I respect that. I respect that. I mean, like everybody, like I have my opinion on books too. Like if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't, you don't. Like why? Like let's just say if I was to pick up a book about fucking mortgage rates, I'll fucking give it a 1.
Yeah, you know right. He's like,
why do I want to listen? Like either way,
the history of the mortgage market.
Yeah, if you're in need of a house, like you're gonna buy a house even if the mortgage rates are up or down.
Yeah, so you just worried about what the payment is. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, but I respect that, bro. Yeah. And besides, like this is good because we need 3 different rates. Right. Yeah, we need 3 different rates. Right, 3 different perspectives, bro.
And we also each carry our own audience, right? You have people that are watching this because they like you. You have people that are watching because they like you, and likewise. And there's people who like it watching all 3 of us together. So like it's kind of cool that they can go, okay, so Adrian said it's a 5.2. Then Juan gave it a 5 or a 4, and then Ryan gave it a 2. So they can kind of go from an average, and they're like, unless I'm really into psychology and I want to know how Patrick King, the author, thinks about this subject, then like they're probably not going to be interested in it.
And I chose this book just solely on
that list
with a quick summary.
Yeah,
it was on the list, and the cover of the book. I thought it was cool.
Bro, the cover does look dope. Yeah, when I saw, that's why I had such, when you told us about this book and it said read people like a book, and knowing I had read To Win Friends and Influence People book,
that's what made me, I read that book and I was like, oh, it's gonna be more in depth,
bro.
Like going to key points in depth, but it wasn't. So
maybe my expectations, because the cover is dope.
Yeah,
the cover is dope.
I know y'all see that.
Yeah. Boom. So like, and it's super simple too. It's like concise and to the point. And I'm like, all right. And it says how to analyze, understand, predict people's emotions, thoughts, intentions, and behaviors. And I was like, dang, this thing. Like I had high hopes.
So did I. I was honestly before I was gonna pick this book, it's gonna be like a 9. It could be 9 or 8. But it's a 5. Picked it up, it's a 5. It's a book I chose, but it's a fucking 5 or 2.
And we're gonna, bro, this is what's gonna happen though. This is what, like, I feel like if you can't read, like if you're too scared of reading a book that's bad, you're not going to read
at all
at the pace that you want to. It's like you have to read. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad book, but you're not going to read, like, it's going to feel like a bad book if it's not something you're interested in. So like, and it's okay to pick a book up and to put it down. GZP is like my microphone drops.
Yeah, so definitely, like, I would say read this book if you're trying to understand how people feel, trying to really understand, like, basically body language, just simple body language that you can pick up on tips, like, and that's it. Honestly, or if you like. If you have a feeling, I feel like this book too is good if you have a feeling like, let's say you're really bad at having conversations and you kind of like turn people off.
Yes.
Like if you're really bad at that and turning people off or putting people uncomfortable, definitely consider this book because it shows you like stems, like where Sten's behavior from back then comes into people's like lives and how you can kind of like go around that or put your points.
I feel like this book would be really good for somebody who is a person who struggles with talking to new people.
So yes, 100%.
And I think maybe that's why we rate it the way we do, is because I don't think any of us really do. Like I'm quiet when I first meet somebody, but I'm not scared to meet somebody. It's because I'm soaking up who they are. You know what I mean?
That's why I gave it a 5 too, because it's shit I know. Already. I do this shit every day. You know.
Yeah,
so
you feel it.
I'm good. I'm good at finding people who lie. I'm good at.
Yeah.
Like that's always been a good instinct with me. Like I'm a good.
You have a radar.
I do, bro. I have a good looks. I've been lied to a lot of times, so I know when people are lying to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that. Like, and I'd be so quick too. Like I don't call people out on it. I'll be like, all right, yeah. I'll put a smile. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Next, we'll go hang out Monday, knowing damn well we're not.
Yeah.
Or I'll give you your money like tomorrow. I'm like, damn well you're not.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I gave you $10. You're not gonna give it back to me. You lost a good friend because I'm not gonna give you no money because I already know you're not gonna pay me back.
If I give you an inch and you take a mile,
yeah,
that's
bro.
it, dog.
You're gonna bite the hand that feeds you, bro. That's the main reason why I don't have a lot of friends like that. I do have a good amount of friends, but I don't have a lot of close friends.
Yeah.
But for that reason.
All right, Juan, do you have the next book already picked out, or are we going to pick it out at a later time and announce it at a different time?
I'll try and pick it out. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow, because today is solely focused on homework. So.
Ooh, today is focused on the homework.
Yeah, that's it.
What about you? What you got going on today?
We're going to go do some jujitsu, got to get some groceries, and we're having tacos at a friend's house tonight, too.
Nice.
One of my buddies who I've been trying to get to come on the podcast, hopefully he'll come on.
Is he, what's his ethnic?
White.
So you're having Taco Bell tacos?
You can't invite my wife and I to tacos and make some Taco Bell tacos. Stop playing, dog. My wife's out there making tortillas right now for this event.
Put some respect on that.
I thought your boy was making tacos.
I'll be honest, bro. I haven't been helping in the planning at all, so I don't know. But either way, we can have some Taco Bell. We can have some Taco Bell tacos and eat those and be okay with it. But I mean, it's not tacos. You know what I'm saying? It's different things.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. But if your wife is helping on that process, then they're gonna be up there.
Exactly. There'll be some homemade tortillas.
Yeah, there's gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
Wait, harina or the maíz?
The maíz.
She makes them thick or like skinny, kind of
thick.
She made. I keep going, but that's good, bro. Yeah, that's good.
Does she make the salsa? No,
Is there? Verde?
No.
Verde or rojo?
Right. Stop it. Now, that. What else was I doing today? Yeah, some jiu-jitsu. Yeah, but he's an entrepreneur, my buddy, and so
nice.
That's all he's done too. He's never had like a.
It's gonna be some good conversations. Some really good conversations.
Yeah.
I notice people who really do the things by themselves. They have like the best stories,
bro. Because they figured it out.
Yeah.
They just spearhead something, bro. It's like you with the barbershop. You know what I mean? Or either of you guys. That's why the stories you guys have that come on this podcast is so good because it's like. I can't speak for everybody, but here's my story. And your story does speak for everybody because it's pretty much the same way with everybody. You know, you just like, fuck it, we gonna run it.
Yeah.
We gonna try.
I'm running up to the bag.
I sometimes tell good stories. I just tend to ramble a lot.
You need help staying on track sometimes, but no, you're good.
I used to be talking to this. There's one girl I was up.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, she would always call me out on that shit, and she would be like, "Stay on fucking topic." And I was like, "I said, how was your day?"
Juan's ADHD brain, bro.
That's just my mind. It's just it's spontaneous. That's why I do.
That's why you have like 5 different businesses too. You can't focus on one for too long.
Yeah, I do a lot.
Yeah. All right, guys. Juan, you'll let us know what the next book is.
Yeah,
I'm excited. What kind of subjects are you interested in?
Discipline. So.
I don't know what type of book we're gonna get.
50 Shades of Grey. That's what he's doing, bro.
No, it's discipline.
Wait, what kind of discipline?
No, it is discipline.
Hit me now.
No, because that's like the only.
Hit me.
That's like one thing that I've started doing a lot more of. Because it was like, why? It was like, why am I going to the gym? And I hit a plateau. I'm like, why am I at the gym?
So you can hit a girl harder.
No, it wasn't even that. It's like
the whip to crack the whip.
Like I realized a lot about myself these past couple weeks, only because I isolated myself from a lot of people, and like I hardly even hung out with you this month.
Bro, I was on the same page. Yeah, that's why you didn't get no call from me.
So no call, no text, bro. I was just. It wasn't like, oh, I'm grinding and stuff. It was like it's just routine for me.
But you were going out a lot, bro.
That's the thing. See,
you were going out a lot. Like you can't say you were going. You're going out a lot every weekend. You were going out.
But why is that? It's like I'm spending all this time working, and I'm not. It hit me like late at night because when you come home to an empty house every fucking day, it's like, yeah, I got a roommate, but he leaves with his fiance, and then you have your best friend getting married, And then you have everybody around me like in couples and stuff. So it's like I can't really hang out with them like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what do I gotta do? So then next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm just going to the gym. Like that's just my escape.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the gym. And then it hit me. I'm like, I don't like the way how my body looks right now. I'm like, I can push heavyweight, but
you can
like,
definitely find better hobbies than going out. And I'm not just saying this, bro, because I love to go out. You know me, bro. Like I love to go out,
Nah.
but I could say you can have better hobbies than going out. Because like how you just said right now, you
Okay.
said you excluded yourself from a lot, but you're going out every day with a lot of people, and then you say you didn't like how you looked, but you're hitting the gym. But then again, you're drinking alcohol every weekend. That kind of like
okay.
contradicts everything.
But you can say that. But at the same time, it's not like, oh, I'm going out to every week, which I am. But your schedule is a lot different than mine. So when I say I'm working every day, I'm not freaking just bullshitting around. I'm up at 5 a.m. Sometimes I'm up at 4:30 because I have insomnia and I can't go back to sleep.
yeah,
And now I'm working in a hot ass roof. Which
Yeah.
a lot of men can't do because they don't want to get their hands dirty.
Mhm.
They can't handle the fact that, oh, like, I'm on a roof. I've seen so many people quit. And then now from there, now you have to switch it and quickly go in go mode and then go straight to school.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I eat at lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't eat until it's like 11:30 p.m. And that's the only time I come back. And bro, that shit fucking breaks me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, you go out every week. But it's only on that weekend. It's the only time
Yeah.
I can actually be by myself and
Have, like,
enjoy my
you have-
life.
and have freedom from your job.
And that's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. So when you say like, oh yeah, you go out every week. Oh look, you're drinking alcohol. That's just me being me, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can-
definitely.
But if it's like, put yourself in his shoes. They could be the big red boots. They could be soccer cleats.
Yeah.
They could be business shoes. They can be roofing shoes. Bro, it is so different, man. So when I'm at work and productive, bro, this shit is like hyper productive. It's like beyond any measures. And then,
So you don't ever get to chill.
exactly.
So you're just looking for ways to chill.
yeah. And then I don't
So
smoke.
Your chill factor
It's drinking now.
is drinking. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
that makes sense.
so-
that makes sense. Yeah, that's like if that's your go-to to chill and relax and
Yeah.
your getaway, then that's your go-to and chill to get out.
You actually feel like you can like sit back in your seat
Yeah.
and just chill.
exactly.
I
And
thought you were going more on the fact like you just
No.
want to like relax, like you just want to
And-
like since you're working and busting your ass like every day,
No.
waking up early, like you just want to chill and like get away from everybody, like you just
Yeah.
want to be like alone. That's
No,
why I
but
was kind of like
the best ones are when I'm like at the park now. So it's like, oh, let's say we don't have work or nothing to do, and it's like
Yeah.
because it's happened this month a few times. So it's like there's nothing there.
yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm already up. I ran my miles. I'm bored.
Mm.
I finished all my school subjects. I'm
Yeah.
bored. Oh, work on your businesses. I'm like, yeah, I can do that, but it's like I never have this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I lost myself. And then now it's like my mom's like, go to church, and I was like, I don't want to be around liars, man. And then it's like, oh, like then, well, what do what makes you happy. So then one day I was just like, I'm going to the park. I see goals. I have a soccer ball, bro, and I was kicking the ball for probably like 3 hours, just kicking. And it was like Plant City, where I grew up, just kicking a ball like old times.
Bro, and I know where you're at too when you're doing that. It's so just chill.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so, and bro,
We
it was
go to that
so
park
relaxing.
all the time because it's so
Yeah.
chill. Like it's one of those places. Like if when you're talking about just being comfortable, like you can just go sit on a park bench and just look at the water, bro.
Bro.
Like that little pond, or
And-
you can like just go for a walk or go for a run or just like put your feet in the fucking grass, bro.
And it's like
Mhm.
I already got everything. It's like I'm trying right now. My goal is just to be happy, right? So it's like, oh, like I don't brag about money. I don't like say like, oh, I got all this.
What
yeah,
makes you-
You can say it's like,
What
oh, I
makes
got
you unhappy?
what?
What makes you unhappy if you're just trying to be happy? Like what makes you like not happy? Like just simple like 3 things that what makes you not happy.
Liars.
Okay.
But that's just a different thing. The
Yeah.
thing that makes me unhappy is knowing the fact that I could be happy doing something else, but I'm not doing it
Yeah.
because I have shit to do.
Okay.
Like I got to do the stats homework. And yeah, it's fucking stats. I have to take a test. I got to do homework. I got to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
On top of that, I got to study for this roofing exam that I want to take next month. And it's like book after book after book. And then I have to pick a book, which is like, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I walk my dog and listen to the audio tape.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Here's what I'm hearing, Juan. I'm hearing that you're... Like, you have so many things that require so much discipline.
Oh, yeah.
That you just, that it's so much discipline that it's overwhelming. And that in order to make it all worthwhile, you have to have things that don't require discipline, where you can just let loose and lay back a little bit. And alcohol, I mean, honestly, it helps it, dude. Because, like, if the edge of you, because, like, when people will say the phrase of, like, just have a drink, it takes the edge off. Like, honestly, I understand it because, like, you start to worry less. Like, otherwise, like, me, and this is just from my experience, like, every time I've been super stressed out because I'm doing so many things and I have so much still to do on all of those things where it becomes overwhelming. Like, bro, just having, like, 1 to 2 drinks on, like, an empty stomach, and you feel, like, happy again.
Yeah, and it hits a lot harder.
It does.
But it was like, I was at the park, and I'm like, what is my purpose type of thing? It was like one of those days. And then I'm like, money, yeah, it's great. Like, everybody talks about it. But it's like, I got it.
Yeah.
I got money. And it's like, I don't have to worry about bills. I can literally just go to school, bills are paid. Like, everything, and I still have money left over where I can go out.
Then why do you work?
And then that's because I got to keep myself busy. So it's like, that's how I grew up. I grew up going to roofs when I was a young kid. Like, I was on a roof at age 10, which I know out of all my friends, none of them did.
Right.
It's like, they probably did other stuff.
Bro, I feel like one would love coaching, bro.
Bro, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's when I was at the park. And it's like, I don't want another kid in Plant City to grow up, or like, actually, yeah, I'm not gonna say I was a perfect child. I was a freaking rebellious teen, whatever you name it. But I know that because when I was kicking the ball by myself, I was finding out more about myself. And it's like, man, I can't wait till I start coaching. Because I'm looking at my brother Pancho, and I was like, seeing him kick the ball, and I was like, pathetic.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage. But I can get you to the point where I was.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you're going to coach me? I was like, yeah. He's like, am I going to be as good as you? I'm like, no, absolutely not. And he's like,
you can't touch me.
and then I was like, no, you're going to be better.
Yeah.
You're like, you're going to be way better.
Why do you think I like these books? Like the 4-Hour Work Week was it wasn't as much of a finance book as it might seem, because it just uses finances to show you because it was more philosophy to me, because philosophy is just why you think what you think, right?
Yeah.
And it's what you use as your roadmap to guide you through life. That's why I like these philosophy books so much, because money, like, to me, like, the real root of money is like the psychology behind it, right? Like, it's just a numerical value for how you philosophically and psychologically approach life.
I took a screenshot of something that goes with that.
So what I was just going to say is I have, in the past, like, 4 years, I have thought of the phrase that, like, if I just play this constantly, I mean, probably 3 times a day, where if you had $100 million, like, if you had more money, if you had enough money to where you never had to worry about the actual art of getting money in, what would you do? What would you do for your time? Because, like, I think about retirement, and I'm like, retirement is just people have enough money to where they don't have to rely on getting money anymore. Yeah. So, like, for me, I constantly go, if I had $100 million, how much would my life look different if I had $100 million versus what am I doing right now? Because, like, if the life with me with money is way different than how I'm living my life now, it's like, there's no reason for that. Make your life as close to what it would look like if you were rich as possible.
Yeah, and
if you ask a lot of millionaires, bro, and billionaires, ask them, do all y'all not work anymore? And what are they going to tell you?
100% would work.
100%. All of them work. Yeah. Not one does not work.
And they don't want to retire. Yeah. Or if they do want to retire, it's because they hate the business they're in.
And it's for the fact of, bro, money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. Yep. That's how you got to look at it, bro. Yep. And that's a quote that I was put on, and I had to screenshot it just because I was like, dude, that's so facts. Like, that's facts, because like what Juan's talking about now, bro, I've went to USF at the same time. I worked 2 jobs while going to USF, like, to pay for my school, because my parents were not going to pay for that shit. Right. Yeah, so I did the shit. I fucking woke up at 5 just to go to my first job. Then after that, I'll go to school. Then after that, I'll go to the barbershop. The other barbershop I was working at till 9. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come home, what would I do? Study for school. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep until 1. I suck at school.
Yeah.
Like Juan's smart at math. I suck at math. I've always sucked at math.
I'm smart at everything. That is different. That has changed. It's like I literally go to class and I'm the kid or I'm the student that people are like, hey, like, what's your study guide? I'm like, oh, I don't really study. They're like, you don't study? And I was like, well, no. If it's an open book test, I take notes.
That's why you should be a little bit more grateful that you have that, because a lot of people like me, I wasn't good at school, so I had to literally. You know how hard it was for me to ask somebody that I knew that I really didn't, because I was a bad kid. Like I was a bad kid. Fucking, I made fun of this kid in middle school a long time ago, and I've always hated myself for that. And guess who I had to ask for help for tutor at USF?
Same kid.
Was that fucking kid. And I felt so ashamed, bro. Like, I didn't want to go up to that kid. I didn't. Like, I was so, like, I was sweating. I was fucking, like, I didn't want to be that kid to go ask for help for somebody, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt like, ever since then, that shit, like, changed somebody in me. Like, that's why I go cut the homeless on my spare time. Mm-hmm. That's why I do all that shit. But, yeah, so I ended up getting the balls. I asked him, and, bro, he was so accepting of me. He was like, bro, like, how you been? I'm like, once we sat down, I was like, bro, you're not mad or you're not... He was like, nah, bro, like you were cool, but you know, like people grow up, like you know, like
change.
Yeah, he literally
nobody knows who they are when they're in fucking school like that.
Yeah, bro. So he literally came up to he was telling me, he's like, bro, like you changed a lot. I could tell, like you post a lot on Instagram. Like I'm happy for you. I'm like, damn, bro, like I didn't think you were gonna be happy for me, you know, because I fucking like I told you one thing and I know you didn't like it, you know.
I was mean.
Yeah, it was mean, and bro, so that shit changed me, but. Yeah, I mean everybody has their own path, bro. Like you,
how smart of it too was like that the founding fathers when they wrote the Declaration or the Constitution, they said that every American has the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because like they say in that movie, happiness is not something you just get and have forever. It's something you constantly are pursuing.
Yeah. And I feel like it's life, bro. You're always gonna try to find the next thing for you.
Yeah.
You're always growing, bro. So you're never really gonna be like happy. You know what I'm saying? For me,
I feel like happiness comes through the pursuit of things that make you happy.
You're gonna have happy moments, but you're not always gonna be happy. Then it wouldn't be life, bro. It really wouldn't be life.
That's why I'm saying like that question I told you. I said, what would I do if I had $100 million? If I had more money to where I never had to worry about money in my life,
I would honestly be a worse person. I'll be a worse person than I am. See, like, that's honestly facts.
I think it would just speed up the time of the timeline that I'm already doing the things that I am. Like I thought about if I was rich, like what would I do? I'd go to jiu-jitsu classes. I would read more. I would do a podcast. Like I would contribute more at church. I would do more things along that line. I would go like. Bro, I would just want to be so like outpouring with for giving other people things and basically contributing to your community like that. That's the fucking helping other people feels amazing. Yeah. And you just have to find about like how are you going to help people that is not just beneficial to them but beneficial for you. Yeah. And that's as selfish as that sounds. That's how you get it done though. Yeah. Like you have to be selfish to a certain degree.
Yeah. For me, I think to give me $100 million, I wouldn't accept it. Honestly, like I would accept something way lower, bro, like 50 mil, but 100 million I wouldn't, because for me I wouldn't have learned how to handle that. Like I know how to handle money, bro. Like I know, trust me. But
well, it's more of like the thought equation of like, not that someone just gives it to you, but like let's just say you wake up tomorrow and and you never have to think about it again. But
it's gonna be a lot more stressful. Your life's gonna be way more stressful, bro. Because you can't just like when you look at money. My biggest thing for me is family. Right. Like Juan talked about his escape is the soccer park. That's what he grew up on. That's what he loves. He loves it. He can go in there and forget about everything. Yeah. For me, it's my family. Like I can leave work and the first place I run to is my mom's house because I'm close to my parents. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's different. Yeah. Some people are not close to their parents, and that drives them more. Yeah. I'm more closer to my mom. My dad, not really, because my dad, he always told me that I wasn't gonna be good at cutting hair. Mm-hmm. I wasn't gonna be shit at cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? Like he always did. Oh, you're not gonna be good at that. You're just gonna give up like everything else. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. It's the same shit all the time. Like I never learned anything from my dad, just because if I went to go, hand me that screwdriver, I'll want to do it. If I do it wrong or too slow, he'll be like, get the fuck out of here. Like you're done.
My dad kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, so he's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? But I love my dad though. My dad. You know. But it's some people have that, some people don't, and that's why for me, like, not saying that anybody here has excuses, but this is for anybody out listening. Excuses to me, like on why this is not happening for you or why this is too hard for you, is kind of like, all right, you just got to cut out those excuses and just pick something. Like go for it. Like just do it. Just do you. And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like you can't really have an excuse if you're telling yourself that you're doing it when you don't have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
really, everybody wants to have I think people get happiness through fulfillment, and to be fulfilled, you have to you have to understand what it is that you want to do, and what accomplishments do you want to have that if you had them, you'd be like, wow, I'm proud of myself. Because at really the end of the day, you just want to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you know that
self-affirmation.
And the problem too with that is it's changed for me. And I had to allow myself to allow it to change, because at one point, like right after, like in college and right after college, I wanted a goal that I was like so dead set on then, and then it changed. And like, it could have been easy to be mad at myself and just force myself to do this thing that I no longer wanted because I previously wanted it. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to like stop pursuing this goal. Like to be more specific, it was to be a CEO of a company, and a really big company. And then I got to the point where I was like, that's not going to make me happy. I just want that to say that I've done that. And it's like, what's going to make me happy? And it just, reformed my mind.
I like that fucking example, bro, because I've been in that position where, am I doing this really just to make myself happy, or am I doing it just to do it because it was set in my mind? Right. So I really had to cut off a lot of things, because first I thought I was going to get my barbershop at 35. Like that was my set goal.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I got it at 24.
Yeah.
Got it at 24. Now I was like, all right, what's the next big thing? Like, I'm not just gonna jump into something that I don't know and spend all like the money I've made already on something that I'm not putting. I already have a business. I need to make sure that's good first before I move on to the next. Right. I can't just start this business, start another one, and leave my first business half-assed. You know, so that's why I kind of like set this one up. I have other things going on that I haven't told anybody yet, but that's because it's not ready. It hasn't blossomed yet. Yeah. Why would I tell somebody about something I'm doing when it's still not blossomed?
You just planted the seed and covered it in dirt. I'm planting some water on it. Yeah, you got things to do.
That's like telling somebody your goals, and then you tell somebody your goals, and then they're just talking shit about it, and then that brings yourself, you know. Yeah. So that's what I love about this group is I can tell you guys what I'm working on too, and I don't feel like negative about it. You know what I mean? I can tell you guys about it like off air and off the podcast. I can tell you about things, and then it's like I feel encouraged. I feel inspired. You know, sometimes if you tell the wrong people the right thing at the wrong time, it can fuck your shit up, bro.
They'll put seeds of doubt in your mind, and when you're starting something, bro, those seeds, I'm already overcoming enough doubt in myself. I don't need you to add some doubt to it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's why, I mean, for me, I found a lot of shit about myself like these last 3 years, and that's why I don't really talk too much anymore. You know, like I'll talk when we're having fun. Yeah. Like, you know, like I'll have a conversation, but like for me, like if it's my personal shit, I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah. Like, even if you're a close friend of mine, I'm just not going to tell you just because I have it tatted on me, manifest your own destiny. That's what it really comes down to. You got to manifest your own destiny, and that's your personal shit. Why are you going to tell your personal shit to somebody else? Like, why? Like, it's not like their opinion's going to matter. Right. It's not like
they're looking for validation.
Yeah. So really, you just got to have validation in yourself and try to find it. And that's why, like,
because how you feel about yourself is way more important than how anybody else in this fucking world feels about you.
And that's why, like, I'm a big person on like how you say you grew up different. Juan grew up different than me. I love Juan. I love both of y'all. You know, I've been knowing y'all forever. Juan's been to a lot of my family parties. He's been there like for everything. If I need to tell him something, I can count on him. If I need help, like if my tire blows out, I can count on Juan. You know what I'm saying? I can call him like any time of the night. He'll probably answer. But like everybody grew up different, and that's why for me it's just like I don't really go into people's excuses. I don't go like I stop wasting my time on people that have a lot of excuses. Just because like for me, I'm that person that I'm gonna just do it. Right. Now, I don't care what you tell me. I'm gonna fucking do it. Like boom, boom. A lot of people tell me about sports betting. Like, of course it's a gamble. I just fucking did it. Right. You know, like my mom was like, "Why are you gonna fucking bet $1,000?" I bet it $1,000. I won 4,000 in one day. Like, see, what happens if I didn't do it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it really is about taking a risk. Everything's about taking a risk, and if you're willing to do it, and that's what I told you. Remember? And in the morning we were having breakfast. He was like, "Man, I just don't know." It was the first thing I told you. I was like, "Just take the fucking risk.
Just to do it.
Just do it, bro." And that's what my two mentors told me. That's what everybody's
hardest part starting, bro. Yeah, it's hardest part starting. Yeah, the other book that I just read, which I actually really really like it's like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me. I love that book. Like I'm gonna keep it and read it forever. It's an older book too, but
send it to me.
Yeah, I'll show it to you when we go out there too. But one of the things he talks about in that book was like, you know, don't be like too many people. There's been millions and millions of great ideas every single day that are never acted upon because of the self-doubt and that thing in their mind where they find a reason why they're not good enough instead of finding a reason. It's like I always keep saying, like, in my mind, whenever I think about doing something, like, especially, I think the first thing I noticed it on was with this podcast. When I started the podcast, it was easy in my mind to be like, oh, what makes you special to do a podcast? Why should you be the one that does that? And then I like changed my outlook to it, and I was like, wait, why not me?
Yeah.
Why not me? Why, like, what if it, like, if this is burning desire inside of me, like, who else should do it but me?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want. And then, the other people started podcasts at the same time I did, but a lot of them stopped doing their podcasts because maybe they don't like it or whatever reason it was. But like, I'm still doing mine. 3 years later now?
Yeah, 3 years,
like,
bro.
It's just something I don't plan on stopping. Like, and I still to this day, this is 86 or 87 podcasts for me now, and I'm still like battle with it on a regular basis where I'm like, is it even worth doing still? But it is for me because if I had $100 million, I would do this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd find
bro.
a way to make it happen.
And it's not about who starts it first, bro. It's who kept it going.
Yep.
What your consistency. This says a lot, bro. I know a lot of people that started a lot of shit and they'll tell you, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but their consistency, like, I don't see no progress. Like, yeah, you did a couple of, yeah, cool, you're doing a couple here and there, you probably did 4 out of the year, but the person who's being consistent like throughout the year about one thing, they're gonna beat you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you have like a whole bunch of other shit that you're doing and you're trying to stack it up, like the person that just chose one thing, they're gonna take that shit far as fuck, and then you're gonna be left behind with all these little things you just stacked up while this person's like, that's why I'm saying, like, for my business, a lot of people are telling me, how come you haven't done this and that? I'm growing my business. I'm gonna make it a concrete foundation, so now when I literally leave the shop, I don't have to worry about it. It's running. All my barbers are cutting. If I'm not there, I can put somebody in my chair. Have that shit rolling. Now I don't even have to cut there. Now I can work on something else that's passive now. So that's what I did a lot of fucking reading in these last 3 years. So been doing that. But
Juan, you got anything else?
No, I just want Waffle House.
If you would have got here like 10 minutes earlier, you could have had an egg sandwich, bro. That's whatever. All right. Thank you guys for doing this. Juan, you'll pick a book and you'll let us know tomorrow, end of day. Cool. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys coming on here. It's been a great time. This episode of Somehow We're Adults is over, but if you'd like to support the podcast, you can subscribe to one of the levels of the Patreon, where we will release bonus episodes that can't be found anywhere else. Any of the money that we get from the Patreon would be used to upgrade old equipment as well as get new gear so that we can make the best podcast for you to tune into. You can also follow the podcast Instagram at Somehow We're Adults, where I share clips and content about the podcast, and the link in the bio will take you to any of the Somehow We're Adults pages. I encourage you to check out another one of the episodes if this is your first time listening, and if you're a repeat listener, thank you for your support. I love making the podcast, and I hope you tune in for future episodes of Somehow We're Adults.